Hello guys and welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video. And in this video, I will be talking about the character development of Taiju Shiba. But before I start this video, let me tell you guys that this video is going to contain manga spoilers from Tokyo Revengers. Anyway guys, Taiju Shiba is the most religious character in Tokyo Revengers, and he follows the religion of Catholicism. And Taiju was first shown to us as someone who possesses monstrous strength, and he has been this way ever since he was a child. And Taiju has gotten his way through violence ever since he was a child, and he has gotten used to this for his whole entire life. When he was first introduced, Taiju was shown to be someone who easily resorts to violence at the slightest provocation, and he was also shown to be a very brutal and sadistic person. And Taiju is a very cruel person, and he even has physically abused his younger siblings since they were 10 years old. And Taiju is so violent that he even tried to kill his younger sister. However, in this future timeline, Taiju showed a completely new side to himself that we have never seen before, and Taiju actually used his power to save Takemichi. And as an adult, Taiju is much more mature, and he actually showed gratitude to Takemichi, and he also sacrificed himself in order to protect Takemichi. Showing up as an ally fundamentally redefined Taiju as a character, and the fact that Taiju is determined to avenge the death of his brother shows us that he is pursuing much more noble goals. And instead of praying at church every year, Taiju now prays at church every single day, and this proves that he is taking his faith to God a lot more seriously. And the fact that Taiju is praying for Hakai to rest in peace really shows us how much he cares for his family. And ever since the death of his brother, Taiju has started going to church to pray for Hakai every single day. And this older version of Taiju is also much more grounded and disciplined, and we saw that he even put in the years of hard work to open his own restaurant. And in this restaurant, Taiju broke bread with Takemichi and Naoto, and the fact that he offered them food really shows us that he is a much nicer person. And what sets Taiju apart in this timeline is that he only uses his power to protect people, and he never uses violence to bully the weak. And it is this self-sacrificial nature that is a very redeeming quality for a character who was a former villain, and this is why this character's return was so satisfying. And the reason why Taiju saved Takemichi is out of a sense of duty, and that is why Taiju told Takemichi that he is settling his old debt with him. And in fact, Taiju has actually become a contributing member of society, and he owns a very successful restaurant with a giant aquarium. And instead of applying his intelligence and business acumen to criminal activity, Taiju has been creating a very successful business, and this shows us that Taiju still has a very high business intellect. And this also shows us that he is very competent as a businessman, and he is very intelligent when it comes to making money. And the reason why Taiju's character arc is so interesting is because he went from destroying to creating, and this change does a great job of subverting expectations. And I know that this might seem like a drastic change in Taiju's character, however, if we look below the surface, then we will see that this change actually makes a lot of sense. And even if we look at his childhood, Taiju never started with evil intentions, and Taiju only became evil after the death of his mother. And this death was the biggest factor in changing Taiju as a character, and this is why he became such a sadistic and violent individual. And this shows us that the driving force for him becoming this way was not with evil intentions, and it is a result of the trauma that he experienced at such a young age. After this traumatic event, Taiju no longer had a parent in the household, and he felt that it was his duty as the oldest sibling to raise Hakai to be very strong. And this is also the reason why Taiju hated Hakai for being so weak, and this is because he felt that it was his duty to prepare him for the cruel world. And Taiju thought that the only way he could change Hakai was through violence, however, after witnessing Takemichi, we saw that Taiju completely changed. And after seeing that Takemichi was able to change Hakai, this completely changed Taiju's perspective, and this is the reason why he decided to leave the Shiba household after the Christmas conflict. Ever since he was a child, Taiju has always gotten his way through violence for his whole entire life, however, after witnessing Takemichi, Taiju finally learned the lesson that violence isn't everything. Takemichi had a major impact in changing Taiju as a character, and this is why Taiju has so much respect for Takemichi. And we know that Taiju has never worked under anyone before, however, the fact that he became Takemichi's subordinate really speaks volumes to the massive respect that Taiju has for Takemichi. And even Yuzuha remarked that Takemichi is the only person that could change Taiju, and this speaks volumes to the impact that Takemichi had on Taiju's character.
Yeah, and now that I think of it, it seems that Takemichi ended up changing both of you. I guess to me, Takemichi is kind of wonderful.
And during the final battle of Tokyo Revengers, we saw that Taiju became the 6th division captain of the Tokyo Manji gang, and Taiju actually returned once again to save Takemichi from Sanzu. And one of the reasons why I love Taiju is because he always has a way of making an exciting entrance, and during the final battle he made an epic entrance by crashing into Sanzu with his motorcycle. And the fact that Taiju would humble himself to join under Takemichi's gang really just shows us how much Taiju respects Takemichi. And it is very clear that Taiju recognizes the leadership qualities that were displayed by Takemichi, and it is these leadership qualities that made Taiju decide to become his subordinate. And the fact that Taiju called Takemichi his captain shows us that he fully recognizes Takemichi as his leader, and he is doing his job to support his president. And even after being cut down by Sanzu, we saw that Taiju still got back up, and I love to see Taiju reuniting with his younger brother. And the fact that Taiju is holding up the Toman flag with Hakai really does a great job of showing us the unity between these two siblings. And after the Christmas conflict, Taiju even became friends with Mitsuya, and the fact that Taiju is building these new connections shows us that he has become a lot more amicable. And during a birthday sketch that was drawn by the author of Tokyo Revengers, we saw that Mitsuya's younger sisters gave Taiju a birthday present. And now that he is an adult, Taiju is all around a more mentally stable and less violent person. However, despite these changes, Taiju has not lost any power, and he is still one of the strongest characters in Tokyo Revengers. Anyway guys, if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, then like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.